Howdy, y'all, and welcome to Texas Watch, your weekly Overwatch League fan podcast for the Houston Outlaws and the Dallas Fuel. I'm one of your hosts, Project, and joining me this week, the Tracer main that loves the game, Isaiah Reed.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be back on the show, man. It's another week, man. I'm feeling good after this week. Our teams won, man.
Both of our teams actually won.
It's still a non-Tracer meta, but I try to get over it every day.
You know, I need to get you, like, some kind of name. Like, I just thought off the top of my head, but I want to give you, like, the Tracer main of something. Like, something cool, something zippy.
Something zippy. Something zippy and hip.
I can't think of anything.
I can't. Well, the Tracer. I don't know. You can't do the Tracer of Texas.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah,
we'll workshop it.
We'll have some time. Just kind of on the spot. Kind of put me on the spot for the name there, so we can work with this.
It's cool. But guys, this is Texas Watch. If you haven't figured out by now, we are here live every Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time because Texas time
is bestest time.
You can catch the show right here on twitch.tv/Texas Watch or later on YouTube, which we'll have a link down in the description below. If you're watching us on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good. You know the drill by now. You've seen other YouTube videos. You know how it goes. A little bit of housekeeping. We are giving away these 2 Lego sets. Not these, because I already built these and they're mine. Not the Tracer statue, because they would kill me. Yep. But these 2 Lego sets. All you have to do is follow the link in chat right now that I'm going to be posting because I totally forgot to do the command. And I'm going to post that right there. So if you're watching us live on Twitch, go ahead and click that link in chat. If you're catching us on YouTube later, the link is down in the description below. We're making our drawing next Tuesday, actually, during the show.
You might as well during the show. Yeah.
Next Tuesday during the show, so catch us live if you want to see if you want or not. Right now, we don't have too many entrants, so if you want a really good chance at winning, go ahead and enter in that contest. It's absolutely free. The first step is just following us on Twitch.
It's not hard.
If you already do that, congratulations. Just click the thing, you're in. That's it.
Easy.
There's more steps to it if you'd like, but you don't have to do them if you don't want to. Second thing, we want to get your guys' feedback. If you have maybe a topic that you want us to talk about that revolves Overwatch or just esports in general, or maybe you have some feedback for the show that you want us to say or read on air, go ahead and type !topic. You know what? I'm going to do that right now for y'all.
I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. Let me do !topic.
Also, because our guy who normally does it is sick, please get well soon, Mario.
Yes, we would appreciate it.
But give us some feedback if you'd like, or give us a topic to talk about. We'd happily give yourself a shout out. And of course, talk about your topic on the show.
That's right.
But without further ado, I think it's time to talk about the Green Wall, the Houston Outlaws.
Let's go, man. We won this week. Let's do it.
We are in a very good week for Texas esports.
Yes, absolutely.
Both Houston and Dallas are winning. But Houston, they're coming up.
Yes, it's going to be close. We're sitting at 3-3 right now with a -1 map differential. We are right on the cusp of being able to make the stage playoffs. We need some help from the top, and we have the Atlanta Reign coming up this coming week for the final game of the season, or for the stage. I'm sorry, but man, I think we looked good enough last week. Granted, we were playing an 0-6 team at the time, so it was a game we should have won. I don't think it should have gone as long as it did. I've been as close as it was, but we were able to pull out the W, and that's what matters at the end of the day. So we still giving ourselves a good shot for the stage playoffs.
So last week you guys played, what was it, the Boston Uprising?
Not the Boston Uprising.
Who'd you play last week? I watched that game.
Yeah,
the Los Angeles Valiant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one we just played.
You played the Valiant, who, according to Monte Cristo, aka Monty, was right. He calls the Valiant the second worst team in the league right now. A little bit of controversy. I don't know if you saw the news. They fired their coach this morning.
Well, I mean, the Valiant did.
They fired their coach.
They're too talented to be as bad as they are. Between the space and Custer being on the team, some of the agilities, like he's not being. He's basically carrying them for a lot of the time right now. Yeah. He outplayed Rockets so hard. It was unbelievably crazy how bad he outplayed Rockets. Especially with the transcendences. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, the Valiant, you have to say they're the second best team because the Justice, who are the worst team in the Overwatch League, are also 0-5, I guess. So you only have two teams who are defeated right now, and it's the Valiant and the Justice. And I don't care. I don't think how many losses compared to the Justice the Valiant have. The Valiant, I think, will always be better.
Well, the Valiant are a better team, but when you look at the current state of the game, they're not doing so hot. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, the Valiant did have a very difficult strength of schedule. But we're not talking about the Valiant. We're talking about the other green team right now.
Yeah, I know. I enjoy that too.
Here is my assessment right now. Look, their cards need to be played perfectly this next week. Mm-hmm. They're playing against Atlanta, who is, I'd say, C tier team.
I would put them higher than that. I think. I think they'd be a B tier team because right now they're in the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, right? They're sitting at the 6th seed.
Clinched. Yeah, they haven't clinched their spot.
They haven't clinched, no, but they're at like the 6th seed, and they're just so unpredictable when it comes to DeFran and their head coach, the former coach of Selfless Gaming. They come with some really cool strategies that are fun to watch. So, and us being the Outlaws, and I think I'll analyze this a little bit more as we get into later in the topic and we preview it, but they're going to have some trouble because we were a very predictable team, and it shows a lot where we're going to run and who we sub in and out, and Atlanta's going to be so ready for that.
Well, I mean, like, the Outlaws as a team, their players are known for specific heroes. I mean, remember on, I think it was, what's South Korea, not Busan?
Right.
We had Linkser actually playing Widow, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But then when Widow wasn't working, he switched over to Zarya. And then they switched out Linkser to replace him with Spree, who is expected to play
the Zarya role. The Zarya role, exactly.
Like, when you have a team with players that are, I don't want to call them predictable, but you know what they're going to play. I mean, the only time you can really fear that is Jonak.
Well, yeah, because he's the reigning MVP, right? He scares everyone. So he's one of the New York Excel are just good enough for the few that can get away with that. But between the Houston Outlaws, I think, once going back to this reviewing this past week, I think we played decently enough. I think we should have separated a little bit more from the Valiant in the very end. We just made a lot of mistakes that almost came out to bite us. And we ended up having to clutch it on our worst map that we ever played, Route 66, in order to pull out the victory.
What you did. Congratulations for finally beating Route 66.
I mean, we're 3-9. 3-9 on Route 66.
God. Okay, well then, so we have some extra notes. I think you put these in, actually. So you say that Raucus and Jake are the clear weak points and are consistently exploited by other teams.
Yes.
What makes you say that?
Oh, man, it's like, well, first of all, if any of you people watch the VODs of these videos or these games, tell me who dies first. About 80% of the time.
Raucus.
Not only or if you want to say Raucus and Jake, it's almost 100%. There's no one else gets picked first besides those two people.
Well, but that kind of makes sense though. Jake usually plays DPS and Raucus is always a healer.
True. Okay, but true. But so as Brig though, your sustainability is so high.
True.
You should be able to stun
Jake
heroes.
Should not be dying as Brig. Yeah. I've noticed he dies a lot.
He fucking just rallies and then just like walks in a circle like, "Hey guys, I'm rallying," and just stands in front of the Reinhardt. And then it's just miscommunication. He's rallying to push forward, and no one's going with him, and he gets picked. Or he's going to chase some flanker hero down, or God knows who his goats. I don't know what flanker heroes are anymore, because it's a goat. But, what is this character? I don't even know anymore.
She doesn't exist. She's the poster child. She doesn't exist.
They don't play them anymore, unfortunately. So DPS heroes, you don't have to really worry about. Just the Brig, making sure that things stay in line, and that you do some damage. He's overextending way too much and fighting these Reinhardts and walking into these teams, and they're just melting him.
Okay, well then what do you suggest the solution is?
Get rid of him! That's right, I said it. Our poster boy, Jake, Junkrat Jake, J-Lol-K-E, he may need to go.
Okay, well let's
he has not played well in any meta so far in Overwatch League.
A little bit of
none. Zero. Tell me when Jake has played well
our analysts in a meta. Who can talk about trades. Jake and Raucus get released from the Houston Outlaws tomorrow. Naturally, that
give me Izuyaki. I want that. I like his Zenyatta, so that was easy.
I don't think the Valiant are going to give away.
Oh, if we give up enough, they will. Okay, I agree. That's a tough thing to say because I mean, Raucus sits in the mid tier basically of Zenyatta's, and when you kind of need your Zen to make those clutch moments, those clutch trances, and make good decisions. He's lately been having some brain farts, so it's been not so great. As far as who I want to trade him for, I'll take Shaz. I'm a fan of Shaz and the Gladiators. Shaz, I think, is a very consistent Zenyatta and does what he needs to do. Has actually carried some fight for the Gladiators, and he deserves more credit. He goes under the radar a lot. So if I had to pick one, maybe just off the top of my head, Shaz would be a great one. And it'd be something you can actually trade because they're comparable to each other, right? Raucus and Shaz, I mean, I think Shaz is better, but it's not such a big gap like Jake Jonak, obviously, and Raucus. Like, that'd be untradeable kind of people, right? So this is something that actually worked. In regards to Jake, so basically Jake is kind of that, I guess, projectile, Pharah player was his main, does the Junkrat thing. When it comes to someone who can do that's actually available, man, dude, I'd almost give me like a Tavik or something like that. Someone who's a little bit more I mean, granted that Florida Mayhem are doing well right now at all, I would say, but I think Tavik kind of could be a lot of potential, could be a star maybe on another team. But right now, I don't know. I guess you can kind of hear from what I'm saying that I'm at the point that almost anyone, I would need some kind of shift because we feel so stale in what we do and so predictable that it's costing us. And we almost lost to an 0-6 team. Granted, it's the Valiant, but it's still an 0-6 team. If you're going to try to push for the stage playoffs, it's a game you need to win handily.
You know, I find it funny that we're talking about Raucus and Jake right now because I'm looking for, I found some stats in our competitive Overwatch.
Right.
Which, by the way, if you're a fan of Overwatch League, you're on Reddit, subscribe to our competitive Overwatch.
It's a good
There's
place.
some amazing stuff on that subreddit. There is a chart that was put out with players who most outperformed their team in eliminations, damage, and deaths.
Yeah.
Dante overperformed everybody else on the Outlaws
by
25%.
But leads me to my next topic. I'm glad that she brought that up because it's pretty obvious after you hearing that stat. Dante's the carry. However Dante goes, the Outlaws go. And it's unfortunate just because of the meta, he can't really flex on other heroes. He's basically the Sombra or the Zarya, but Spree's been getting a lot of play lately, so it's basically just Sombra. It's all he plays exclusively when he comes in. So it's kind of predictable. And he's great at the role, probably one of the best, if not the best Sombra in the league. It's just a matter of our communication, how we're setting up these EMPs and what we push when we go back. Jake not dying first. Like that kind of stuff causes issues. So he did have a little bit of an issue in the Valiant game. EMPing Izayaki.
Yeah.
I think I'm saying that right. Is it
Izayaki?
Izayaki?
Yeah.
He did have an issue with that. Izayaki did a great job of hiding from Dante, and Space did a great job of just finding him out in random places. In Volskaya Industries on that map, I mean, Dante was found out hard. Space must have killed him 2 or 3 times before team fights even started on our push to point A, where we just had to stop. It wasted a good 2 minutes of time just because Dante kept getting found out. So he had kind of a little bit of a bad map there, but turned it around on map 4, which was Route 66. But it was tough for him. But as he goes, and because it was hard for him, our whole team was like crap. We didn't know what to do. We didn't have the trigger man, and Dante's by far the trigger man.
See, the thing I find really funny when we talk about Dante in regards to the Houston Outlaws is Dante came from a top caliber team. The San Francisco Shock are usually labeled in the top 3, if not, I don't want to say top 2, but top 3, top 5 teams in the entire Overwatch league.
San Francisco Shock, sure, yeah.
Their DPS are always on point, their supports are on point, and their tanks know how to hold a front line.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer in watching the San Francisco Shock, and I actually really want to see the Shock and Nixel game coming up.
Yeah. Oh man, it's gonna be great.
That's gonna be a really good game.
Their styles are so opposite, right? The Shock are heavily aggressive, led the charge by Sinatra, right? They want to push, and Nixon wants to see what you're gonna do first. They're very patient, but their main tank Mono never dies basically because he doesn't overextend ever. Never, and it's like J. Jonak just destroy you because they protect him and he just pops off.
So we have Dante who comes from this overly aggressive team, who comes from this team with a lot of this, let's face it, DPS talent.
Right.
And then goes to the Outlaws where, yes, they were missing that DPS talent.
He is a DPS talent now, right? Basically.
Okay, I don't want to say that he's the only one because the Outlaws do have Linkser. But Linkser
that's Widowmaker in the league last year, by the way.
But he is a Widowmaker talent. That is like, okay, Widowmaker, McCree, pretty much hit scan.
Yeah.
You can already just hit scan.
He grinded Tracer a little bit towards the end of last season. We were just looking for anyone that could play Tracer because of the Tracer meta. RIP.
Not his hero.
Right. So, but he's a hit scan main, right?
Yes.
So I'll agree with that. So that's a good point. Coming into this, Dante's realizing like, holy crap, I have to be the one to do a lot of stuff now. And it may be throwing him off a bit. I mean, it may. I can tell we don't know what kind of team we want to be yet. Do we want to be the hyper-aggressive team? Do we want to be more passive and react? Or do we just want to be in between, which is what we are now, and it's why we're 3-3 sitting straight average?
Lol.
We're at the pregame show the whole time. Good job, man.
This is what happens when I have to host, do all the tech, and also be part of the show. Okay? I'm sorry. Not sorry. It's funny. I'll take it.
But now we're on the actual part of what we were talking about the whole time. Is that the green wall getting stronger, which I think is the main theme, right? Yes. We have a chance. And at the end of the day, as any competitor, all you can wish for is a chance. If we beat Atlanta this coming week on Sunday.
Which is very possible. I don't want to sit here and act like it's not possible.
It is very possible. If we can beat Atlanta coming up, be 4-3 with a positive map differential, Atlanta will drop. I think that I think they have 2 games, actually, I think.
No, Houston only has 1 game.
No, not Houston, Atlanta. Do they not? Maybe not. Maybe
no,
crazy.
they do. They play Chengdu and...
Yeah. So this could be a setup for us to sneak in and get this
Hunters
win.
beat Atlanta.
So if Atlanta loses twice, they're definitely out. Chengdu I don't think has a chance of getting in the playoffs at this point. I think they're too far down. Or they'll have to have some crazy stuff happening ahead of them for them to go in.
I want to say I think they are mathematically eliminated.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. So. I mean, between that, so who's above the Outlaws here? We have
Seoul, who is not doing so hot right now. Boston, who Dallas is going to beat next week.
There you go. So we can help each other out here.
Yeah.
And we can really help each other. We can knock some teams around ahead of us and be able to stay in. So I think that we have a chance. All you can ask for is a chance. It's like, oh, if we get in, I'll be so hyped. I'm so ready. I think once this team finally gets its foot under itself and like get some traction on what we want to do, we're going to be a good team. But I think the meta is just not ours right now. And I've said that before in previous shows.
The thing I'm loving about Overwatch League right now is remember last season when the season started and we had all these new teams, everything was still so fresh.
Right.
We didn't really know what was going on. We didn't really have a good gauge on who was the best. We saw teams like New York XL and London Spitfire winning all their games, but we didn't really know how good they were.
Yeah.
Now that we've seen these teams for an entire season, save for the new teams, of course.
Right.
We know how these teams perform. We know how they act. We know how they play. For a team like the Houston Outlaws who didn't make very many changes, they're essentially taking the same team that they had for Season 1 and bringing them into Season 2.
Yeah, and don't forget, we still have free agency periods and trade periods still open and everything else. So
I'm excited for, by the way.
If we can get our leadership stuff handled at the top, which I've talked about in previous episodes, they're on YouTube, basically about how our parent esports organization is having some issues as regards to losing funding and a lot of controversy up there with Optic Gaming, and I believe it's the Texas Esports League, or we have some kind of company that owns Infinity Esports. Yeah. But basically, there's been issues up there, and that's maybe shuffled the money a bit, and we can't get the players that we really want. I'm sure Flame and there's a lot of our other leadership up there has ideas about what we need to do to change things, but they just need the resources to do it.
Honestly, if the Outlaws end up getting, because if you make quarter, semi, and the grand final, like third place still gets prize money.
You get paid.
So I mean, if the Outlaws do get third place, which let's face it, pretty unlikely right now.
Yeah, man. Hey, don't doubt my team. Hey, we're winning. We're winning the stage playoffs.
Okay, the Outlaws might make it past Vancouver and New York XL.
I didn't say all that now, but I didn't go that far. But I didn't want to say it. If you actually say it, it sounds really bad.
I'll say it. Don't worry, I'll say it.
It sounds really bad if you actually say it. But we can just say we'll win it, but we'll say who will beat.
If they do end up getting that cash bonus, because there is a bonus if you make it, like that can go towards the team. That can go towards future trades.
Yeah.
That can go towards hiring better staff.
I mean, it can happen too if Vancouver and somehow New York both get upset in the stage playoffs and we don't have to play them at all. I mean, it's a possibility. That's how playoffs work.
Not really a spoiler for Oversight, but I was listening to them talk about Vancouver and how they're a really good team. But when you throw a curveball at them, they kind of scatter and they don't know what to do.
Right. And I think Nixel's the same way. They've never been pressured enough where they've actually had to react to people quickly. So, also, this brings us into that next thing. So, I was talking about the Outlaws and their communication issues. I have a clip I kind of want to break down for you guys. We're about to put it up on stream. And I don't have a pointer or anything to circle stuff, but I'll try my best.
I see.
I did clip it. And I can kind of, break down why I think our biggest problem is communication, even though we have the talent to actually be able to win these games.
Where's the button? That's not the button. I want the button. Keep vamping.
So we're currently looking for the button. And what it revolves around is our map on Route 66. It was a team fight right after we got point A, where we have the ability to use EMP, and we also have Grav. The other team has Grab. We also have Trent. So we have a lot of ults happening here. So if we can, let's go ahead and back it up to the very beginning and let's pause it.
Okay.
Okay, so pause. Okay,
pause
here. So and look at the ults at the top of the screen here. So we have Boink, Raucous, Spree, and Dante about to have ults. So we have 4 ults and Moon's about to have Shatter. Between what they have, Brick. Yeah, and we're about to have EMP, right. So we're about to have maybe 5 ults here by the time this fight starts. Spoiler alert, we're not going to win this. So, looking at this, you would think, look, right now Fate is hacked. He's low. You're thinking that the Owls have an advantageous position here. So let's go ahead and roll the tape. Okay, let's pause. So, they're trancing here. We have Grav available. So, the common thing you want to do is when trance is over, you're going to Grav. We also have EMP to use if we want. So, we've got options. So, at this point, a call needs to be made about what ults we're going to use. We have 2 support ults, we have Grav, and we have EMP. So, let's go ahead and keep rolling here. We back out. This is good. This is good. Now we pause. Now we grab them here. Look who dies. I don't know if you can see at the top right corner of the screen in the kill cam. We've already lost Jake somehow. I don't know how. Let's pause. So we've lost Jake now. So we didn't have... Oh, I guess he did rally here, I guess, at some point. Just died instantly. And we've also now beat. So we had them grabbed. Nothing happened. And this was after the trance. And now we've beat drop. So now we need to make a decision. We need to push. We need to push because we have this health pool there. Or we have Dante do the EMP. Now here's where it gets interesting. So let's go ahead and hit play here. Now pause. What are we doing? What exactly are we doing here? So, look how many ults the Valiant have right now. Look how many ults we have right now. We have EMP and Rockets has Trance, and we have the beat drop that just ended. During that whole beat drop, we didn't move. Now, what you've done by waiting so long at this point, now they're spreading out. They know Dante has EMP. These professional Overwatch League players. They know by now that Somber has EMP. So you've got them, they're spread out. And now Desire is just raining, right clicks on the spree at the bottom. So let's go ahead and keep going. So, pause. Kareev, so Boink boops Kareev off. Kareev should die here. It's Muma, Dante, and half our team is back where the Mega is because the Mega health pack is hacked. Kareev needs to die here. But what happens here also is now Dante's been found out. Dante cannot push up an EMP because now he has a Zarya in front of him who's taking away his stealth. He can't just run in there completely seen and run into a Reinhardt EMP. So let's keep going. So somehow Kareev gets out here. And look where Dante is. Okay, go back a little bit. Go back here. Sorry about that. I missed that he was going to come up. Keep going a little bit more. Okay, pause right there. So keep it here. So look at this. So that they know that they're spread out, right? They see agility right is there. Fate's right there. Where is Dante going with this? I guess he was... he was in such a hurry because they should have EMP'd a long time ago. After the grab, we saw we weren't going to get anything and that Jake was actually dead. If we want to win this fight, we EMP right then. But it's taking us a whole, 10-15 seconds for Dante to get in a position to put off this EMP. Either we need to call it then or call the whole fight off, but no one's making a decision. Muma has been in the same 3 feet the entire fight behind the payload and hasn't pushed up at all either. So this is the communication. What are we doing? Someone make a call. All right, pause. Who got EMP'd? Okay, so we've got Kareev up there and Agility's right there on the top. You can't see Agility's, but he's at the bottom there as Brig going into the mega room there. And Kareev's at the top. Who's going to get to him? No one can get to the Zarya up top there, so he's going to end up living through this. So keep going. Pause. What? Why are we trancing? What? We've got 3 people hacked over here. So Dante just hacked the Lucio. We got 3 people hacked. We're trancing. No one's touched Kareev up there at the top. I don't know where the hell Muma is. You can't even see him in this picture. And so we've had so many opportunities to win this fight and just push forward, and we just won't do it. No one's making a call. No one's calling targets. And we're trancing now. You want to look at Kareev's ult percentage right now? He's hacked. He's free raining right clicks up there on the saloon. Yeah, guess what happens next? Roll the tape. Oh, Dante dies. Unfortunate. Oh, look what happens. We get grabbed and we get wiped. We had 5 ults to start this fight. They had none. Now they have 3 and we have... see... I watched this fight live, everybody. I was so triggered. You can't even believe it. You can't... it's ridiculous. Is there no designated... Coolest Cripple says, is there no designated team leader every match? There should be. There's a shot caller. In Overwatch, they have something called a shot caller. And that needs to be 1 person or maybe 2, depending on the situation.
Typically, it's your tank or your healer.
In this meta, in GOAT, it's usually your main tank. So Movement needs to make a call and say, we need an EMP here. We need to grab at this point. I'm sure the grab was called. Then Jake died, so they were kind of playing halfway. Someone needs to make a call and say, Move says, back out, wait for Jake. And we all go in at 6. Or EMP now, and I'm going to go in and charge or go and swing it.
So I do need to move us a little bit long for the show. I want to ask you, with everything that we just witnessed and all the stuff that we talked about today, what changes do you think the Outlaws can make right now to guarantee their win against Atlanta?
Be decisive, because Atlanta's going to throw things at you that you have not seen before. I mean, we know DeFran and his tour picks, right? We know the Bastion picks. You have to be able to have good communication and counter those, trick heroes. If you can do that, then I think we'll be fine. We have the talent to do it. We need someone to make a call and know what to do and go fast. Go do it. Stop thinking so much about it, saying, well, we should need to do maybe this. Are we up? Are we kind of down? Go in and do it. That's going to be our win factor. That's our win condition because you cannot hesitate against Atlanta.
Okay, I like that. Well, guys, that'll be it for the first topic today. Thanks so much for watching. Of course, if you're watching us later on YouTube, we appreciate the view. Go ahead and click the little icon right here in front of the mic to subscribe. We should have latest video right here too. And hey, as always, let's make Texas proud. No yeehaw?
Yeehaw! I wanted to pause for it like, no yeehaw.